right here, AI Infused. See you then. Welcome to AI Infused. Feel free to check out our catalog below. We got a bunch of more videos coming up, more AI news updates, keeping you up to date with the latest AI info right here, AI Infused. See you then. What's up, but people? Let's go. All right, so it's your boy Frenchy Riff, AI infused. You already know. If you subscribe to the channel, I appreciate you. We hit 1,200, something like that. I don't know who's counting the metrics, but Loki, we're all counting because that's what the algorithm got us doing. And yes, I changed hats on you. You didn't even see it coming. Gotta rep that alma mater. I think that's how you say it. All right, so today's AI news is kind of different because we're doing a little bit of live session. As you saw the little intro video playing there, thank you for waiting patiently. But we did start a little bit later than we wanted to today, but still, we're gonna bring you some fresh AI news, literally, because we're gonna do it together. So I thought, you know what, will be best. Let's just do the news together. All right, let's see what crazy stuff is going on now. If you know about Chat GPT or Open AI at all, first of all, I applaud you because there are still a lot of people that do not know what any of that is, means, or whatever else is going on. But ChatGPT and OpenAI aren't the only companies that do large language model and all of these other models that are being developed currently. There are some other rivals like Minstrel AI and even Nvidia, who provides all the processing for most of this AI computer legwork. really the model that does all the work is from Nvidia, but they are also developing their own chat GPT, if you will. But this news right here is actually kind of interesting because Minstrel, who is a competitor of OpenAI, is now looking to partner with NVIDIA, who provides processing for OpenAI and pretty much everyone else in the business. But there are some competitors for NVIDIA too, but so far they are in the lead. But let's look at this story here. It's Mistral AI. They are out of France. So Mistral and NVIDIA, who you already know, the Jensen Huang, aka the leather jacket guy. I think that's a cool thing to be known by, huh? All right. All right. All right. So let's take a look at this. Gotta work some things in the background. All right, so right over here we got Minstrel and Nvidia. They unveil a new model. Now this one is up to 128 tokens, which essentially just means how many times they can process per a certain minute, or how many, like, I take a look at it as like transactions, like how many transactions can you get through. But this time, they're up to 128 tokens. That's how many essentially reference points the AI references back to before it spits out an answer. And using NVIDIA's processing, they could probably get you an answer really fast. Like OpenAI's Chat GPT 4.0 has been the latest so far with the fastest processing, but I think there's also another one that just got released slightly after that from Anthropic, maybe, that is proving to be quite a challenger for ChatGPT. But Minstrel is now working with NVIDIA, and they've launched a new one with 128,000 token and state of the art performance in reasoning, knowledge, and coding accuracy. For size category. Now they're saying size category because 128,000 tokens is actually pretty small. So it looks like they're trying to compete with the new Chat GPT 4.0 mini. And I only know that because of the size of tokens, because the other big processors are up to like trillions, I think, which is crazy. That's a lot of tokens. All right, let's see what this. All right, so the collaboration essentially pushes the boundaries of performance, but also prioritizes the ease of use. And it's called Nemo too, which is actually kind of cool. And I see what they did with the image now, and I'm guessing they probably used the AI to spit out this image. Because I mean, look at some of the core that doesn't look real to you, right? Anyway, so what's happening right now with AI is really adoption. Not enough people are joining in to kind of accelerate and continue the investment, because I think ChatGPT was the fastest app to ever reach like a million users really quickly. And it's picked up after that, but we can see there's clearly a slowdown because companies are now moving to encourage adoption or further research, like I just mentioned. And Minstrel, which I've actually never used, I've only been using ChatGPT and a couple of other derivatives of ChatGPT. I think I've tried Anthropic once or twice, but I think ChatGPT is still the best and kind of does what I need. And so I haven't really, ventured out as far, but I think I'm going to check out this Minstrel one, because if they're working with NVIDIA, then it has to be super fast. So all of these pre-trained, which is what the P in ChatGPT stands for, by the way, um, they're not anything that use live data to inference. Like you and I could think of something right away. Like if I say elephants, you thought about an elephant, but these language models have to go search, right? Elephant, what is the closest relation to it? Okay, what can I cross out? Okay, this is the best answer. And they're getting really good because they can spit it back out. If you type in elephant in Chat GPT or Minstrel or whatever, really quickly, you're going to get an elephant right back. So you can tell they're getting more advanced as we go. They can almost see what we're thinking or guess what we're thinking correctly. But we can still do it 10 times faster if that's even something we can quantify. But, if I say table, you start up a table immediately. You know what a table is, how a table is used. And that's really the biggest problem that AI is facing right now. And I only say biggest problem because it's hard to defend that kind of speed and knowledge and reference points based on something that you're learning from training data, right? We humans don't use that much training data or don't need that much training data to be able to infer something or know about something or know about physics. Know that if I touch this thing that's hanging off the wall just a little bit more, it's going to fall. Like you'd have to train AI to figure that out, but we can infer that pretty quickly and from a really young age. And then we kind of just take that and balloon up. This is why we are created perfect in a lot of ways. But Chat GPT and any AI really is only using pre-trained data. They are stuck to the set here. Recently, they are connected to the internet. Now, it does search a little bit, but again, remember searching, you're still limited to another set of pre-trained data, right? You can only search as fast as people are creating new searches on Google. If everyone stops searching on Google, where's Google going to get new search ideas from? And by the way, if you work at Google and you're in Google search, they see some crazy questions. You can imagine what everyone just Googles. Like, be careful what you Google. That was a sidetrack and a half. Lord. That's why people don't do lives. But just scrolling down here, you can see they are doing the comparisons between models that are closely related in size in the Minstrel versus the Gemma and the Llama from Facebook, I believe. And I think the Gemma is Google because they have Gemini as well. But you can see here the context window difference is insane, right? I mean, look at this. They're not even in the same ballpark. But I think as we speak right now, Facebook and Llama are preparing to launch a new Llama that has a bigger context window. And I think he said it's going to be bigger than whatever the top competitor is. So my guess is going to be Minstrel. Um, wait, okay. Hella swag. Am I the only person seeing this right now? This is a category. Hella swag. And zero shot here means that it's not using any reference. It's just giving you an answer right away. So if you do say elephant, what does the AI spit out without referencing anything? AKA testing out if it's actually learning something, right? Because if I show my little son eventually an elephant, he's going to remember that thing is an elephant no matter what. So right now, if you go to Chat GPT or Minstrel or whatever it is, you type in a person or you type in an apple and then you type it in again, you're going to get something different every time. So there's no memory or that learned, even though we call it learning models, but they're not really learning much still. This ain't no AI hate video, I promise you, but just got to be for real. So that's what zero shot mean. And hella swag still cracking me up. I mean, I'm going to assume that if you have this much context window, you should lead in a lot of these categories, but that would be too much common sense. So these scores are from different tests, right? So natural IQ, trivia, which we all know. Don't know what MMLU is or open book, but I'm guessing this is some other type of test and common sense test and a truthful one. Something about things that are true or false. I'm going to just guess there. But you can see that if you have a low score on any of these, you can't trust some of these AIs. Imagine using Llama 3 for a natural IQ. It's at a 28. It's not very smart. But something that's cool here about Minstrel is the models looks like it's being designed for multilingual applications, and and it's strong in these main European languages, including a few um Asian languages like Japanese, Korean, and you got a couple of you got Arabic and Hindi. So I would say about the main languages in the world is what they started with. So that's not bad. So if you speak any of these languages here, you can use this fully and get these type of results. That's actually pretty cool. Now I did want to see what they talk about for their partnership with Nvidia. But it looks like they're not really releasing what type of processing Nvidia is powering them with, is kind of which kind of sucks and defeats the purpose. Like, why are we partnering with Nvidia if you're not going to share what Nvidia is bringing to the table? That's kind of a bummer for this news, but hey, at least now you know Minstrel AI has brought a new model that's okay, at least from these numbers. All right, let's check out what's next on the news. All right, you guys gonna like this one. Okay, so if you guys never heard of TSMC, by the way, if you play stocks or anything, their stock has gone crazy since like 2021, 22. It's just been going insane. If you'd have bought this stock in 2019, life had been looking a little different right about now. But this news is TSMC is forecasting record growth. Okay. Now, we just talked about on the last article NVIDIA and Mistral working together. NVIDIA gets their chips from TSMC, right? So NVIDIA places orders at TSMC and they are forecasting record growth, which means that NVIDIA is going to be forecasting record growth or sales as well. Um, Also, they turned down a U.S. joint venture. Can't read right now. Amid AI surge. Now, this is interesting right here. So, I actually kind of want to see more about them turning down a U.S. joint venture because if you pay attention to geopolitical things or whatever's going on between China and the U.S., Taiwan, all that stuff, TSMC is a big portion of that conflict, right? They produce these high tech chips that no one else can make anywhere, even in China, and they are the best at replicating things. But no one can produce chips like these guys at TSMC, and they are located in Taiwan, which China claims to be a part of China, but the people of Taiwan have different opinions. Okay, they don't get along. Let's just say that, and we'll leave that there. But TSMC is a big portion of that conflict between these two countries, these two powerhouses, and so them wanting to work with the U.S. is something that should be obvious that they are going to want to do because of that conflict and the protection they are being guaranteed by the US. So it kind of crazy that they're rejecting a joint venture with a US company, cuz I'm guessing, the government would have something to do with that. But let's see here. Now we know they're going to have growth, okay? It's pretty obvious that a lot of money is being pumped into AI, and most of it is going to TSMC. I love this quote right here. This is from the CEO of TSMC. Okay, this is from the chairman. AI is so hot. Now, I'm just gonna give it a benefit of the doubt and say there's something lost in translation there. But I feel like most CEOs speak English, so he probably said that in English. AI is so hot. So hot. Dude, AI is so hot. Right now, everybody, all my customers want to put AI functionality in their devices. Pause. But he's 100% right, except for the payments industry. Now, there are some random cuckoo payments people that are going to integrate payments with some sort of AI, but very risky, and there's going to be low adoption in that industry. And I can speak from that because I work in payments myself professionally. And I would say everyone wants to add AI functionality except for payments. I can explain that a little bit later. Maybe we'll do another live and I'll break down how payments work and why AI will not be a solution, at least right now. Now, that's some crazy earnings. Sheesh. When you surpass market expectations, that means you have some real haters. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You had some serious haters if you surpass the market expectations. The market did not see you succeeding. I mean, it's kind of crazy how companies can go from being valued at 100 million to a trillion. There's a great video on YouTube. Actually, you can see the size of $1 trillion in cash. And it was, I never feel good after seeing that video. I don't know about you, maybe. I always feel like, who needs that? Who needs that? You don't want $1 trillion. I promise you, you don't. All right. So the forecast looking pretty rosy. All right, let's see here. There you go. All right, so it says TSMC firmly rejected the idea of a joint venture in the U.S. despite comments from U.S. political figures about Taiwan's dominance in the chip industry. Now, see, I told you this is going to get political because TSMC, they're a major player. I guess Wei is, yeah, that's the CEO. No. Okay, I think Wei is the chairman, but anyway, so he says here reaffirm the company's commitment to its expansion plans, emphasizing TSMC independence and strategic vision. Now that's very interesting to read about TSMC because they are under a lot of pressure politically, at least from both the US and the Chinese side. And staying independent might be the smartest thing they can do, because if you align too much with one side, the other side is not going to be happy. And that's a pretty strategic move. That's a political move for a chips manufacturing company. But anyway, so the fact that they can reject these things is smart. But you can also see how much pressure that puts on the U.S. government now that TSMC doesn't want to work with the U.S. as tightly as they thought they would. All right, let's see what else is up. That's not bad. Exciting stuff though. Um, Now this one we can go quick because I didn't really think it's that interesting, but because we don't really talk a lot about Japanese AI, because I'm actually kind of surprised they're not big players in the AI market due to them inventing games like Nintendo. I mean, they were playing around with that sort of, animation and things of that nature. So I'm actually kind of surprised. And they've always had a pretty strong economy. And it's weird that the Japanese are not big players in the AI market, but this might change. And this article looks like they might know it too. 40% of Japanese firms lack AI adoption plans. Now, this is a vague word here, okay? Because what are adoption plans for AI? Do we know all the adoption plans for US firms? I'm not sure. Now, it looks like they just ran a survey, and surveys don't really mean that much. Protest probably does more, but it looks like the Japanese aren't that interested in AI, so maybe they know something. Their AI is very controversial, I would say, at this time, because there's a strong group that super anti AI. There's that guy that makes those videos like Adam Breaks Everything or something like that. That guy, I think he has another YouTube channel where, I mean, every video seems like he's like, AI sucks. AI will never do it ever. So he's like super negative AI. And I have a good friend of mine who's doing a PhD in some neurologic, super smart guy. And I'm going to get him on the show. We're going to do a live right here. Just keep tuning in, and we're going to talk about this AI because he's very pragmatic and realistic about AI, and he brings up some really good points. So I want you guys to hear from him later. But AI have a big anti AI group that has some big voices, and they have some decent points too. So I can see why the Japanese companies aren't taking it in as easily as we thought they would, or whoever thought they were. Now, every time they talk about AI adoption for companies, where everyone's worried about their jobs being lost, and then you see numbers like 53% aim to reduce labor cost, right? While 36 saw AI as a mean to accelerate research and development efforts. Now that's a big drop off, right? You got 53 want to reduce labor costs by using AI, and then only 36 see it as something you can accelerate research and development efforts. It should be the other way around, right? You should want to keep your labor because say you have a talented like business analyst, for example, and you want to see how much better they can be if I give them access to AI and let's see what they can conjure up with all the data, right? That's a much better, more productive employee without reducing all your, labor costs. You've just improved and accelerated your research, and you probably just have new processes, and you could even have new products from things like that. So I see this as a backwards type of AI mentality that we currently have. Now, cybersecurity is a big concern for not just looks like Japanese, but it should be for everyone now. And it's a pretty hot market, just like coding was about 10 years ago, maybe 10, 15 years ago. Coding started becoming really popular. It's like, get you a coding job, learn how to code, blah, blah, blah. That's where cybersecurity is right now. Everyone's like, man, learn these cybersecurity things. Remember that guy, John McAfee or something, McAfee? But cybersecurity is starting to play a major role as you see things breaking down by simple code updates. Now, if you missed the news or just the regular news this past week where airlines got shut down because of some update that had to do with a company that works with Microsoft, and they all got the blue screen death where nothing is working, you can't access your data as a company. Bad news, right? Somebody pushed that code and it had a bug in it. Now, I work in my line of work. That's a real possibility. So when we examine our projects, we go through a lot of eyes and some very, very sharp people I work with, and none of that stuff gets passed by us, like not even a period, sometimes a comma in the wrong place. So I'm actually quite surprised that a company of that size would allow code to go through with an obvious bug that would have that much implication. So I'm not surprised that the Japanese aren't interested in adopting AI just yet. And I bet they're probably not the only ones. Oh, here we go. Now, this is going to get really saucy quickly. Now, if you guys don't know, this flag here is the EU flag, which represents the European Union and all the countries within that. Um, and Apple seemed to be withholding their newest AI models from EU users because the EU has set these guidelines and that are very, very, very strict and pretty much anti-business. And even for the companies that are based in the EU trying to develop AI, they have to go through so many hoops just to test it. You know what I mean? It makes the European guys seem kind of not that bright for limiting their own capabilities, but they have good reason to not want to adopt it, just like the Japanese people aren't. But it looks like Meta here, aka Facebook, is now joining with Apple and just not releasing anything for the EU users because they rather just not deal with this land of unknown where they can either people can freely use their stuff or they have to follow all these guidelines. That's actually going to be an interesting matter to keep track of. So I'm going to try to update you guys if we get on another live this week. Get on another live this week. So the Llama 3, which I mentioned, the text only is still expected to launch in the EU, which is actually kind of crazy because some people might not be able to use it due to some of those EU laws. So they have to comply. So Meta and App have to comply. So it says here tech companies operating in EU will have until August 2026 to comply with rules. So now this is what kills me, right? When they make these mandates, right, and they give you what, almost 2 years on the dot to comply. What's the point? Like, make it right now. Like, okay, you know what I mean? It's like if you wanted to ban pornography, okay, from an app or something, you're like, we're gonna ban this, but we're gonna give you 2 years. What's the point? You know what I mean? Like, it's either illegal now, banning it, getting rid of it. Why do we have to wait 2 years? Just make it happen right now. It's actually kind of interesting that they have it till August 2026. But you can see now they're just like, well, we just won't release anything until we can figure out what we're going to do by August 2026. Well, now, interesting mention here. Just throwing a little Meta Ray-Ban smart glasses, which do look cool, by the way. I did a video on those. So check out the channel somewhere if you're interested. And I did a video for the Meta Ray-Ban smart glasses, and I'm actually impressed. I haven't been impressed by like, AI wearables or anything. I don't like to wear stuff that has a computer on it, but these are actually dope. I would rock these. Don't know what the side effects are though. Can you imagine wearing those Ray-Ban smart glasses, and the next thing you know, you've been like shooting electronic waves in between your brain cells? Yeah, so I think the EU overall is holding their population back from advancement. Just think about, when was the last thing that was invented in the EU? It's really hard to think about. I'm sure there are some things out there, especially with like solar panels or wind energy. I mean, they do some work down there, but just think about where all the richest companies in the world. They're in the U.S. or in China. Not much in the EU. Matter of fact, a lot of their businesses are kind of old school. Just think about it. You got Adidas in Germany. You got Mercedes Benz, and I mean they're all behind trying to catch up with electric cars. Not that good. It's not a good look out there. So if you're in the EU, I can see why you want to move to the States, just for that freedom of doing anything. This is interesting here. Um, if you don't know much about the UK, other than that they have that accent, sounds quite proper, right? If you don't know much about the UK, it's not as the whole UK isn't like London. I know I used to have that mentality. I used to think, man, you go to UK, everywhere it kind of looks like London. Ha ha, papa. You know, you got all the posh people, they like to call it, and the proper stuff, but it's really not like that. Once you leave some of those big cities, it's pretty comparable to like middle of nowhere Ohio, you know what I mean? Or like some random like farm town in Nebraska, or all those flyover states. You pick one. That's pretty much what UK is like once you leave the very concentrated, you know, big cities, big town. It's pretty old school out there. So the fact that they're talking about AI and productivity, I'm actually quite shocked, because again, it's a strong distinction between the wealthy and the poor in England. I mean, super strong. You never leave your class in England. Almost never. Never say never, but you don't. But this is an interesting article because it's saying that this productivity could boost the UK enterprises, which I think is interesting that they would even say that, because it hasn't been productive in a long time. Again, think about, what was the last thing that you heard about being invented in the UK? New Rolls Royce, Range Rover, Land Rover. Most of those aren't even produced out there anymore. But yeah, they don't produce much. And here we go again. Every time we talk about AI productivity, look what happens here. 7.9 billion employee hours they could save. It's always got to be about saving by removing the people that will work in those jobs, not seeing them as people that can learn productivity tools, like teaching a warehouse person how to press this button to make this line move to the left. It could be the same thing with AI, I think. Now, what I'm trying to figure out is, what do they mean by productivity? This is it's so vague. Like articles like this, like, okay, boost UK productivity in what specifically? Starting to sound British. See, they're not very specific here. They're talking about work hours, but in what sector? Unengaged employees, lack of incentives, inadequate technology, key factor. So essentially, what they're saying is they're stuck in the Middle Ages or something, right? How can you still have inadequate technology when you were the biggest powerhouse in the world for so long, but now you have inadequate technology? But again, they're not very specific on which sectors. They're just giving us a bunch of blah. These kind of articles are filler articles are not my favorites. They're productivity and what? Just saying stuff. Oh, all right. Let's see. Okay, this is pretty cool. Now I saw a great video on this on well, I haven't seen it yet, but Mr. Who's the Boss, I think he tried out all of these. I don't have that type of budget. I won't be trying out these kind of gadgets. I'll try out some software. That's about all I'm gonna try out. But we don't do that on this channel, big dog. You can check out his channel though. I'm just not a big fan of smartwatches. I tried it. I had the Apple Watch. I had one of these non-Apple watches. Not a big fan. I don't know why. I don't like wearing tech. I might be a different beast. And there's a rumor right now that Apple was planning on launching a folding phone, a foldable phone in 2026. Man, they look like they're just behind now, and not in a good way. Apple Intelligence. All right, here's my favorite part about all of this tech, right? Because when I watch some of those videos on YouTube, I see the nice little image, a nice little video. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool, that's cool. I don't really care. I'm waiting for this number right here. I'm just waiting for these because these prices make no sense to me, right? The same type of watch, right? The size hasn't changed. Matter of fact, the band's probably got more efficient, probably more plastic or whatever it is. They're gonna tell you recyclable, blah blah blah. This is just metal that's bent over and made shiny. But the prices are unbelievable. What does I don't even know what this is. A phone. A phone now is $1,000. A phone is $1,000. Cell phones have gotten smaller. For some reason, they've gotten more expensive. And then the foldable phones, even more expensive at 1,800. I mean, that's $2,000. I think we're getting to the point where a phone will cost $5,000 very soon. And you know who I blame? I blame Apple 100%. I blame Apple. Once I saw those VR goggles for $4,000, I knew immediately the prices would never go down. They're just setting a new trend. I'm like, if I can set a new trend, let me do it with price. Genius. I'll be honest, that's genius. $4,000. Yeah. A phone's gonna cost $5,000 very soon. Mark my words, you come right back here and give me my props when you see a phone for $5,000 if it's not out already. And people are gonna buy it. People will buy it. A lot of people. You know why? Because that phone's probably gonna do some magic. Let me sip this tea real quick. That's cold. Completely forgot about it. Now, here's my favorite part. Some of those rings you saw here. All right, let me just show you a picture of it while we're looking at it because look, see this ring right here. Now, I got one of those wedding band thingies too, and this costs more than my wedding band. This is a $400 ring. Okay. Plus, let's just say I want a foldable phone. Okay, and I'm just gonna round this up to $2,000. All right, so I'm already $2,400 in with getting the ring. Okay, I got a watch. I didn't even get the watch yet, actually. I got a phone and a ring, and I'm at 2,400. Let's keep going. I'm pretty sure the watch is coming up. Yeah, we could you could talk about all the size and thick thickness, what it pause, right? You could talk about all that. Doesn't matter to me. You're buying a ring for $400 that you have to charge and clean and do more work with it. And you're also buying a phone for $2,000. I keep it realistic, straight up. And they didn't even give you the price of the watches, which is crazy. I'm just gonna guess the watches are between 5 and 700, maybe less. I don't know. What do the watches go for? They didn't put the price on here, but that's insane. That's insane. Enhances AI features. Thank you. I have to get a second mortgage to buy one of those. All right, now this news I think is probably the coolest. I'm a low key big gamer, but I don't have time to game. I would love to game. I think gaming is quite interesting. And AI revolutionizing the game. Now, I made a video. I have a video out right now, which is AI being inserted into NPCs. Sorry, those are your non-playable characters that just kind of walk around the world map doing whatever. So those guys are now lit up with AI, and they can talk to you. Like they can answer your questions. You can speak to them. Video cracks me up every time. However, shout out to that guy who did that experiment, whatever game he was playing. Big shout out to him. He was quite entertaining. All right, so AI revolutionized game design and player experiences. Now, my last video that just came out actually has this uh, AI in game design. They have like these guys are inside this room and they're actually tossing a ball between each other to pass on the ground, and it's actually showing up in the video game live, which is insane. So I can't wait to see what happens to video games with all this AI. Now, I'm always wondering like how are they even using it? Not just large language models with like, the NPCs being able to talk to you or anything like that, but how do they incorporate some of that other stuff? So I guess we'll see. Oh, there he goes. NPCs. My wife didn't know what an NPC was for the longest. All right, so this is what I talked about, and I cover this in another video, where it talks about these non-playable characters. So it says that AI here is crucial in developing more realistic and intelligent NPCs, right? Non-playable character, and I think having intelligent NPCs makes the game twice as interesting. Like if they went backwards and took old games and just revamped them, but making the NPCs smarter, I would play those games again, like the first Spider-Man or Grand Theft Auto, Vice City, one of my favorite games. If they made the NPCs smart, that would be interesting. Because traditionally NPCs followed predetermined scripts, so they do the same exact thing every day. It cracked me up when my wife found out what NPC was. But anyway, so they follow predetermined scripts. They're doing the same thing. It's kind of boring because you know what they're gonna do, um, and they're super predictable and they're very frustrating too. I can definitely attest to that. Matter of fact, we're gonna try out some video games on this other channel that I have. So make sure you stay locked in. I'm gonna tell you guys what the new channel is called. However, with AI, NPCs can now learn and adapt based on player behavior, creating more engaging and immersive interactions, which is kind of what I was talking about. And it does bring the game more to life when the NPCs kind of looking around and wondering what they are. And they can actually help you navigate through the game. That'd be crazy. Now, something that I have not seen yet is the balancing the game difficulty. Like one of my favorite games to play recently has been FIFA, which is the soccer game. It's actually called FC now. But when you're playing FIFA, you set the predetermined difficulty, and you kind of can either beat the PC or really struggle every time because it's always going to be extremely hard or it's always going to be too easy. It would be really nice if there's some type of AI that can read how you play and then match one that kind of gives you a challenge at your level so that you can see how hard you are to play against. So balancing the difficulty of the game is challenging task, and I can see why because I'm guessing they're using a lot of weights here, and it's too easy and players lose interest. Okay, and it's too hard, they may become frustrated. So that's me on FIFA. AI can help by analyzing behavior and adjusting. This seems so obvious that it should have been here. Why is it here just now? So I like that dynamic difficulty. That's good. Enhancing player experiences. Okay. Analyze vast amount of data. A highly personalized gaming experience, tracking player preferences, behaviors, performance. AI can tailor. Wow. Okay. So this kind of looks like they're going to customize the game around you and how you play. And I don't know about this one because sometimes I'm trying to adjust to how I should play the game. So I might not be playing it the way I should be playing it. I might be messing up like because I'm trying to learn. I'm not sure if I want the AI to learn that and then like just label it as me now. You know what I mean? Like, especially if you're struggling with a game from the beginning. I was playing this world venture game. You guys ever play those world venture games where you create worlds and stuff from the from like the beginning of time? I don't know. But anyway, I was playing this world venture game and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I built the grids all terrible. There's fires going on all over the place. Man, I could turn that stuff off. But anywho, so I don't know if I'd like that personalized game experiences. Maybe just for some games, but not all games. If they give you like an on and off switch on which AI you want to use, then yes. Online slot gaming. I don't understand how AI can help. Who's it helping for gambling? The casino? 'Cause then I don't want to play. If the casino's just getting better, why would I want to play? All right, let's see what they're doing here. Intriguing applications. Yeah, obviously. Innovative Bitcoin pokies or slot machines. Leverage AI to offer more engaging and secure gambling experience through the use of Bitcoin payments on the casino platform. Wow. However, this is taken to the next level with AI with the integration of AI as it leads to better security and more interesting gameplay features. For example, some games may incorporate elements of skill or strategy where AI opponents can provide a challenging and dynamic gaming experience. So now I get to not only lose my money to the casino, but I also get to lose to an AI as well as give up my Bitcoin. That's like 3 L's every time you play against the AI. Okay, so AI powered customer support, obvious. We know this. This is being used everywhere. AI game fairness and transparency. That's, I guess, if somebody's cheating. Oh, for online gambling. Okay, AI helps ensure that games are fair by analyzing and monitoring gameplay to detect anomalies and unfair practices. Okay, so no casino is going to be adding this to their gaming slots. That'd be crazy. But imagine if you can like, have Chat GPT like watch a video of a slot game and then figure out that something's wrong with it. No one will ever win this game. Oh, that'd be crazy. That's coming. Listen, mark my word, that's coming. And you heard it here first at the almost at the top of the hour. Listen, we're gonna close soon, but this AI update is pretty crazy. Future prospects of AI in gaming. So I'm interested. Like a lot of casino AI updates. That's weird. I did not expect that. All right, so future prospects of AI in gaming. You got upcoming tech. You got AI set to play a significant role in development of VR and AR games. Okay, creating more immersive. All right. Yeah, yeah, boring. Okay, AI driven storytelling. Yeah, they don't tell good stories yet. Advanced player analytics. Boring, because that's not why I play the video games. And okay, so biggest thing is the intelligent NPCs, which will change the game. Period. Probably the biggest change and the most profound change that's gonna take place. And it looks like they agree with me a little bit because if you play video games, you know if the NPCs talking to you, they're coming to life. Gonna change your it's gonna change your whole world. But you got to be careful though, because those aren't real people and they could summon demonic spirits. So in the future, we can expect even more innovative and immersive experience. You said innovative and immersive way too many times in this article, but I see his point. There's not much going on in AI gambling. I think that's just a loss. That's an ultimate loss. So I wouldn't even mess with all that. But we can see there's some good stuff coming in the game design. They didn't really talk about the tech that I launched in my video. So it looks like I might still be first with that news. Breaking news. So go and check this out. And this is our first AI news live. I'm actually kind of excited. It's pretty hot in here. I didn't turn the fan on. I'm not going to lie. I'm steaming right now. I was wearing pants. That was a mistake. I could have just been wearing like nothing under here. This is not no OnlyFans, but seriously, man, it was hot. It's hot in here. All right. I have to cut that last part down. Oh my gosh, I said the words. I said OF. I said it. I said it. I said it. YouTube's gonna ban me. Anyway, so that has been your AI news for tonight. I hope that was exciting. I hope you guys like that format where we kind of just chop it up, look it up together. You know what I mean? Instead of the whole you know me, makeup, blah blah blah. I don't do the makeup, but I'm just saying like the whole shebang, all that editing. And nobody got time for that. Let's just go raw, uncut. That's it for AI news update this week. I'll holler at you guys on the next one. Catch us here every Tuesday and Thursday. Be y'all.